YouTube. We're gonna see if this shit works. Oh shit. Dropping everything. What's up, everybody? Wonder if people will join us. I think I just gotta just do some live streaming. See what happens. Might start with one person who likes to watch these and turn to 100. Live stream's better. Over 2,000 subscribers and nobody's joining. I wonder if YouTube's the good option to go to. No, we got one person in here. Yo, what's up? Wait, Jeremy, you were on my Instagram. I remember seeing you there. You were on the Instagram live, weren't you? We got a real one here. We got a real person, not like some AI robot. See, that's what I want. I want like real people here. I don't want like AI. I want some like real people talking to me. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find like an audience of people who aren't like dumb and who aren't like quote unquote so intellectual, you know? I just want to find a group of people who want to talk, want to have conversation, who want to think, or who know how to think. The blue is best. What does that even mean? Oh, you're talking about the candy. Yo, guys, we're eating Sour Patch Kids. Sorry, my bad. I didn't know what you're talking about. This live must be delayed. Yo, what's up, guys? Shit, we got real people here. So handsome. Guys, I got a girlfriend. Leave me alone. I love her, okay? Well, a bunch of people left after I said that. Get out of here. I don't want you here anyways. Yeah, we're going on 3 years and 3 months. We for lifers. Trust me, when you find somebody like that, like my girlfriend, you're a for lifer. You gotta know what you want. A lot of people like to fuck around. A lot of one night stands. A lot of partying. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but if you know what you want in life and you want like one person for life, you're not trying to be like poly, have multiple relationships at once, then you shouldn't be going around fucking a bunch of people. You should just do what you want, you know? And that's why you're so depressed, if that's how you feel. Again, guys, I'm only going to respond to comments that actually have something to say, not a bunch of bullshit. I don't mean to sound harsh, by the way. I swear I'm a nice person, but I don't like bullshit. Again, what my goal is to form a community of people that genuinely want us to want to talk, that aren't like, oh my god, can you like say my name? Can you sing me happy birthday? Like this person said, like I'm not doing that. Like, you know, you know what I mean? I want a real community here. Again, I'm not gonna get everyone in these live streams. I'm not gonna have millions of people watching these because I'm not here to like please other people and like, do all those performative things. I'm just gonna do what feels right. I'm gonna eat the rest of this bag. It's almost gone. What's up? Do you believe that dragons exist? See, that's at least a question. Um, no. Why hasn't anyone seen any? Why has there never been any accounts of people like, oh my god, dragons? Like, it would be a bigger phenomenon than it is if dragons actually existed. And the conspiracies are cool and all that, but if they were true, there would be more of a consensus on it with the population, especially with social media nowadays. There'd be more accounts of it. If you want to tell if conspiracy is true or not, just look at how many people are actually talking about it. And I don't, again, that it kind of varies, right, from topic to topic, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to tell. Like, you just got to use your brain a little bit. Did you know Jesus Christ was a Jew? Again, I don't know. I don't know any of these things. Was Jesus Christ even real? Like, did he actually exist? Does it matter if he was Jewish or not? I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It was at nighttime walking, looking at the ground, and I saw a big shadow, so I looked up and saw a dragon. What are you talking about? Are you sure you don't? Like, I mean this in like the nicest way possible. Have you been checked for like schizophrenia or any other sort of condition? Like, I dated somebody who would see shadows. She'd point at them right in front of me, saying there's a shadow there. I'd look, there's nothing there. Maybe you just have some sort of condition or your eyes were playing tricks on you. Like, I've been in the forest in the middle of the night for fun to try to scare myself, and the mind comes up with things, but I don't think it's best to like believe in everything you see as truth without a little bit of like analysis. Does that make sense? You gotta analyze your things like, oh, I saw this shadow that was a dragon, big, tall, with like, did you like, was there actually a dragon there, or was your mind just in hyper awareness, like hyper? Was your mind just hyper? Were you just very active in your brain? Like, ask yourself that question, like from a logical perspective too. Like on one hand, oh yeah, this was like a crazy experience. It might have happened. I'm sure it felt really real to you, but you also got to like look at it with like a sense of a little bit of sense of awareness. I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like harsh or anything about what you're saying. I'm not trying to invalidate what you saw, but this is just questions to keep in mind. Tell me your thoughts about abortion, your thoughts on it. If some people, honestly, guys, hot take. If some people want to abort their kids, quote unquote, their fetuses, whatever you want to call it, organism. If you have to abort, go right ahead. I think it is up to the person who's doing it. Obviously, like, what is it? I forgot what the phase when the baby's like first trimester or whatever the fuck it is, where like the baby's like 8 weeks in, whatever. No, I think that's too far. I think there's a degree to it, but if you catch it early on, abortion is and abortion's on the table and you don't want to have a kid, I don't think there's anything wrong with the woman aborting the child. Okay. Now, obviously, if we're like however many weeks into it, where the baby's like a full grown fetus, then no, I think abortion is wrong. But like initially, when you catch on to that thing, like you take the pregnancy test, there is nothing wrong with abortion. Okay. There is, like, I don't even understand why this is even a question up for debate. Like, there is a degree to it. Of course, there's a fine line between abortion and killing somebody, but it's a lot bigger than you think it is. Like, it's not like, oh my God, the moment there is any sort of conception with the pregnancy test, like, blah, 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 blah. No. Okay, come on, like, use your brain. All right, use your brain. Like, just use your common sense for once. Most people don't have common sense these days. It's like the age-old question. If somebody breaks into my house and they're scary and they're trying to steal all my things, can I shoot them with a gun? Of course you can. In my opinion, I think you could. Like, let's be honest. They broke into your house. They're scary. They're big. They might have a gun on them. They're scary. They might have a knife. Maybe they do. And they're waving it in your face. I think you should be able to shoot that person. And if they end up dying from that, then they broke into your house in the first place. But unfortunately, in a lot of places like Canada, where I live, you yourself could get arrested for that, for somebody else breaking and entering your place. Like, that's just crazy. That's crazy to think about. That there are people out there that are making that law like, oh, they broke into your place, you don't have the right to shoot them. And if you do, you could go to jail. They broke into your house. That is on them. That is the scariest thing in the world. I think your life is in danger. You should be able to defend yourself. If that means killing somebody to defend yourself, then of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that you just got to use your common sense. You just got to use your common sense. I don't know what Crip Mac is. Same with abortion. Just use your common sense. And then people bring religion into everything. Like, oh my God, it's like God's chosen child. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. Religion in and of itself is a whole nother scam. Like 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying God isn't real. I'm just saying religion is a scam. I'm not saying religion is always the worst thing, but it can be just as bad as it is quote unquote good. Okay. Like, if we're gonna get into it, there's a lot of priests out there who are pedophiles, okay? Like, come on, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they hide behind religion, like it's truth. So bad things can happen in good places, quote unquote, you know? Use your common sense. What are your thoughts on the Indian invasion of Canada? I think that's a loaded topic. Um, I think there's see, I have some friends who are Indian too, so I also gotta think of that, who came from India. I think there's good I think they were taking advantage of what they were offered, and I think Canada did offer great incentives for them. So I think on that hand, I think they're in the right. But I think the issue shouldn't be on Indians themselves because they were just taking what was offered to them. Obviously, people that do bad things should get what's coming to them, but you should just look at the government for letting a lot of people in. I don't think it's more of an Indian issue and more of like a government issue. Buying votes, Justin Trudeau buying votes, with all the people that were let into the country. Like you got to look at the government, okay? You got to look at what the sleazy things they're doing. It's not so much the people themselves. I think it's the government. I'm not again, I don't think they ruined Canada. Okay? I think maybe like the influx of people definitely contributed, but why was there an influx of people? You got to get to the root of it. The government. What was the government doing? They did all these crazy things. They let all these people in. So it's not so much the people's fault because they were just offered a better opportunity. It was the government's fault. Again, it's not about the Indians, it's not that black and white, and I think that's like it's this great divide that's getting caused because of that, because people aren't actually they're too emotional and they're not using their brain. Okay. You gotta use your brain. Are you from Toronto? I'm not. I'm from British Columbia. I've been to Toronto many times. So I understand what you're talking about. It's crazy out there, but we also got to think about where these people grew up. India, a lot of them. Driving in India is crazy. You've seen the videos. So it's like you come to Canada, you get your license pretty quick because it's not hard in Canada to get your license. Of course, driving conditions are going to be crazy because they grew up in a place where driving was like insane already. But again, it's not like, yeah, that's an issue. And like, there's all sorts of issues. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not stereotypes, it's not any of that, it's just how it is. Like, we have a lot of issues here too. You go to Europe, you're gonna eat way better food than you have here in Canada and the States. They have it way more sorted out in the most for the most part. You go to Switzerland, they got really great food and like really fresh. You come here that's sprayed with pesticides and all sorts of bullshit. Like, it's not so much racist or stereotypical, it's just how it is. I'm not like there's pros and cons to everywhere you live. That's just how life is. And you got to make with what you can. But yeah, there's a lot of issues for sure everywhere you are. What motivates you to keep going every day? Myself, because no one else could actually motivate me. And I know when I don't motivate myself and I don't do things I want to do, I'm going to feel like crap. I'm sure you feel the same way. It's just you gotta motivate yourself. But not only that is like you gotta think of how it affects other people. Like me and my girlfriend have been together over 3 years. Like we've had our ups and downs, of course. But the fact that I'm like still trying to work towards something and work towards my life and future and everything, she loves that and she adores that about me. And that does give me a sense of motivation for sure. It makes me feel more like the man? Like you gotta pick your own battles and but really at the end of the day, if no one else is motivating you, you gotta motivate yourself. And when people aren't motivating you, because they're not gonna motivate you every single day, you gotta motivate yourself. Canadian bacon is ham. Female bacon, yeah. That ham, that's good shit. I've never tried moose milk. Something I wanted to say though. I was live on Instagram right before this. Instagram's so brain rot. Nobody uses their brain. They're asking me the most basic questions ever. Like, I'm depressed, how do I feel better? I think that's a basic question. If you're depressed, you would know you're depressed, so you just gotta ask yourself questions like, why am I this way? Because I don't like this and I don't like that. Are you changing that thing about that and this? I don't like where I work. Quit. Work somewhere else. It's not that easy. Yeah, it is. I did it. I quit a job that was making me over $100,000 a year, and I'm doing better than I ever was. And I'm going into a better profession that's going to pay just as much and give me the lifestyle I want. Who cares? Like, there's a way around it. There is a way around it. Some people just aren't open to that conversation. Gonna be on the news one day, vibes. Honestly, if I was on the news, I think I'd do the news a service because nobody uses their common sense. But then again, you know the news, they're just gonna twist every little thing you say and they're gonna clip it in certain areas and find their own narratives. But I think that's another reason why this world's so fucked up is because everyone takes the news as fact and they don't do their own research and they stick to one news source and they're like, this is the truth. But nobody uses their brain. Again, it just all comes down to nobody's actually using their brain properly and actually questioning things. And that's why we have so many stupid people than we ever have any other time in history. I've always wondered why milk comes in plastic bags. Because here in BC, we get it in jugs. Maybe it's just cheaper. I'm not sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all plastic, but yeah, that is actually a great question. 11:05. Shit. I worked a long shift tonight. I feel great. Had some drinks after. I feel great. Genuinely feel great. Still waiting for the day. There's a community of people that genuinely use their brains. I'll have that community one day. So far, so good. We're on the right track. Still some things I gotta fix, but we're on the right track. 23 minutes in. It's not bad. See, I feel like live streaming is so much easier than making videos. I'm not saying making videos is bad or all at all, but live streaming just allows me to get my point across better in the moment because I'm not like focused on the perfect video. I just want to be a live streamer only, somebody who just speaks what he has to say. I don't want to like clip things and try to get the best clips, farms, and whatever the fuck. I'm gonna go live when I want to. I'm gonna speak, when I'm spoken to. In this case, texted to on this chat here, and that's how I want it to be. It doesn't have to be anything more complicated. People will understand. People will clip it for me. People will take my own clips and post them. Why do I gotta do it myself? But I think this YouTube channel is a great start. I have over 2,000 subscribers. Most of them, they're not gonna be viable for what I'm trying to do here. But that's okay because we could double this, triple this number. We could get to over 10,000 subscribers by doing these live streams. And it wouldn't even matter that 2,000 is going to feel like nothing in terms of the views I'll be getting. It just kind of gives me a little bit of a boost so I could start these live streams without having an X amount of subscribers. What do you do or want to? Well, I'm going to aircraft maintenance college in February, and it's a 10-month course. And then I hired at a college, and I'll be making the big bucks. I'm gonna get myself my dream car, buy a house, settle down, have kids, the whole shebang. You know, have at least one kid. Got my whole life figured out for the most part. Again, things might change in the future, and things will be adjusted to accordingly. But that's my plan. Me got my wife already. We're not married yet, but we will be soon. We for lifers. Over 3 years together. It's easier. It's easier said than done, guys. Sorry, it's harder. It looks harder than it actually is. That's the better saying. The reason I say that is because it all boils down to just doing what you want to do. The right people will come into your life. You got to think about like it's like you're living your life. If you were to complete your life today and you were to look back on your life, it would make sense. It would make more sense than it did when you were living it because you're looking back on it. And like you got to think of it like this, like your life is going to work out the way it's meant to. Just let it play out and do what you want to do because that is exactly what letting it play out means. Yes, I am Canadian, but I don't think that really matters. Respectfully, the labels don't mean anything. They definitely, I think they contribute maybe a little bit. So maybe they do mean a little bit, but I do retract that a little bit. But not to a degree that deters us from like the root of the problem, which is just not thinking for yourself. I hate life. I played my hand and lost. So did I. I hated life for a time. I wanted to quote unquote end myself, you know, Minecraft, of course. And here I am today. I got up and I kept moving forward. You got to do the same. Like, yeah, it's not going to be easy. You're going to be like, you're going to feel that way sometimes. You're not special for feeling that way. I just want you to know that. And I don't mean that in like a negative way. It's just we all feel that way sometimes. It's just how capable are you of moving forward? If you aren't, then that's something you got to ask yourself genuinely. Like, I don't want to be that person who's like trying to hold your hand through it all. I just want to give you the tough love and just tell you how it is. Like, I want you to, I really am at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get you to use your own brain. Being depressed or feeling depressed, let's say, because there is an actual psychological condition of depression and it is a real thing. But I'm just saying the feeling of depression, for the most part, it's very self induced and you can fix it yourself. There are definitely psychological areas. And if that is what you feel like it is, or you know, get yourself checked out. Like, go on the medication. But otherwise, if you just feel depressed and you know you don't think it's that, then work on yourself genuinely. Like, I live in people who say that Canada is tough. Of course it is. There are other ways you could move. You genuinely could go to another country. There are ways to do it, and it's not as hard as you might think it is. If you really hate your life that much and hate Canada that much, but I don't think Canada is as bad as we think as a lot of the times we think it is. I think it's definitely bad in a lot of ways, but a lot of it you could just fix by doing it yourself. You know, just doing better things. There are ways to do better things. College is a great way, especially if money is the issue. Go do a year or two course. You could be getting paid in the top bracket of blue collar workers, middle bracket to the upper class. I do know that, Paul, but it sucks on one hand, but on the other hand, like, whoop-de-doo, we gotta do with what we have. So, that's just life. At the moment, there's nothing we can do about it, or at the moment. Again, things can change, but just do better for yourself, and, you know, things will work out. They really will. It does, but I understand. I just don't like to, like, focus on that too much because, again, I think that just takes away from I think it almost I'm gonna this is gonna sound blunt, but I think focusing so much of your attention on all the problems around you is kind of like defeating the purpose of actually improving yourself, and you're kind of deflecting the blame of how you feel about yourself onto the problems of the world. And yes, there are issues like Canada is sucks in all these other ways, but I feel like a lot of that is deflection on what you can do yourself about improving your own life. Genuinely. And I live in Canada. I know how fucked it is, but my life has never been better. So explain that, you know? Like, sure, it was cheaper back then, but how come my life is best now than it was then? Maybe it really has something to do with myself and less about Canada. Yes, there are issues with Canada. Yes, they should be addressed, but I don't think that should take away any sort of the momentum you have for yourself and what you want going for yourself. Quote unquote hot take. I don't even work for the government and I make a shit ton of money. I don't have a degree either at the moment. I got a great job though. There are ways you could do things. You just gotta don't tempt fate. There's no such thing as fate. Again, that's a that's another thing. There's no such thing as fate. Okay, you can make any decision you want in life and go down that path. Hmm, somebody's leaving. Movie theater popcorn is really good, guys. It's pretty good. Can't even lie. I saw the Marie movie last night, the new one. That shit was good. That shit was good. I love movies. How many people are here? One person. Shit. This is the shit, guys. I don't work tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the gym though. I think as a man, like speaking to all the men who are in this chat, go to the fucking gym. Just go to the gym. Just go. Don't be a pussy. Go to the gym. Face your fear. Get muscles. Work out. Get strong. I think every man should be strong. Like physically, I think it's important. Same as mentally. I think there's a lot of people who are physically strong but mentally weak, and that's another issue of its own, but we'll go over that later. Go to the gym as a guy, as a man. Go to the gym. And I don't mean, oh, pretend you're lifting weights at home, do a couple push-ups. Go to the gym. I'm not saying you can't do calisthenics, but do it in a gym environment. Unless you're one of those super hyper focused people that are always on task, at home and can do everything at home without and focus 100%, you're lucky. One of the few who can do that. I think I have ADHD or something. I can't. So I go to the gym, then go to the gym. Trust me. I play that whole beating around the bush, working out from home scenario about equipment. It's just a waste of money. Go to the gym, it's cheaper in the long run, and you're more accountable of yourself that way. Again, unless you're in that top 1% of people that are just super highly accountable, like right off the bat, born that way, through and through, then go to the gym. Dude, I don't even say that labor jobs keep me out of the gym. I get paid to work out. Dude, I literally work those labor jobs. I have for years. You don't actually get as fit as you might think you do. Like in the right ways. Like you're training like a lot of strength, but I was going to like my 10, 12-hour shifts and then going right to the gym afterwards, getting a good night's sleep, and then doing it all over again. You still got to go to the gym. Again, that's just another excuse. It's another layer of excuse where it's like, just because I do these labor jobs doesn't mean I shouldn't go to the gym. The gym is about targeting specific parts of your body. If you're going to the gym and not doing calisthenics, you're targeting specific muscle groups. You're not just doing the whole thing. Like when you're working out, like when you're working your job, you're not just targeting a specific group, you're targeting the area of movement for the job you're doing at hand. You're not actually gonna it's not gonna give you the best, it's if you really wanna it's not there. I'm just gonna say it's just not it. It's not enough. I'm just gonna say it because 'cause I've been there. I do those jobs. I know what they're like. Heavy labor, 12-hour days. It's not enough. I'm just gonna tell you right now. No matter how much you might think it is, you still gotta go to the gym. And if a lot of people are like, "Oh, really? I gotta do that too? That's too much. I'm too tired." Maybe you're not meant to do those jobs. Okay, I will say maybe the only exception is firefighting because they make you do the workouts. It's like you're basically paid to stay fit. But then again, those people are also still going to the gym. They're doing CrossFit or something, firefighter. So it's more of like a lifestyle firefighting. So if you're a firefighter, you're already doing those things. So again, this conversation wouldn't be happening. Dude, no matter, I don't know what you mean, how much labor, unless you're working a 24-hour day, 15-hour day, which highly unlikely. And if you are, you better be getting paid an arm and a leg. Then you're just spewing a bunch of bullshit. Like, just be a man, go to the gym. I'm not saying that to like hurt you, and if it hurts you, then there's a reason. But just go to the gym. You work a 10, 12-hour day, how much labor you do, bricklaying, whatever the fuck, you've done all that hard shit, then go to the gym. And even if you are, you should still be going to the gym. The purpose of what I'm saying is just go to the gym. I don't know how many times I have to say it, and so I'm gonna stop saying it because I feel like a broken record now. All I'm seeing is excuses, and it's not gonna solve anything. I've been down that route of excuses. It never led me anywhere that made me feel happy. And you're number 3 in this top fans right now, so obviously you like what I'm saying, and you're here for a long enough period because you enjoy it. So then just listen to what I'm saying. Take what applies to you and discard the rest. If you really don't think you have to go to the gym, then discard it. Let's talk about something else. But if it still is affecting you, you got to explain yourself and you got to explain to me why your opinion is valid. Then maybe there's a reason why you're so energized about it. Because maybe you do feel like you could do more. Maybe you do feel like you could go to the gym, but you're too lazy to do so. Just use your brain. Again, that's what I want to instill in everyone here. Tough love. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Use your brain. I'm going to do the same. If somebody can prove me wrong, I will gladly accept that. Make a video to this live stream, like clip what I'm saying, make a video about it, tag me in it. I'll watch that video, and then the next live stream I'll address it to the best of my ability and to my understanding, and I will accept any defeat that comes my way. I really will. And I'll accept it with open arms and I'll change my opinion because I think in order to grow as a person, you got to change your opinions all the time, especially if somebody has a better opinion or something that makes more sense to you specifically. Again, take what applies to you, discard the rest. And I'll do the same. Now we're down to two people because not everyone wants to hear this. Not everyone wants to hear what I'm talking about because a lot of people are just too lazy, too numb, too dumb. And I'm not saying I'm smart, I'm just saying not a lot of people like to talk about things anymore. It's this weird culture we've created in the world. Banter is considered a bad thing. If somebody has a different opinion than yours, it's considered a bad thing. But then again, I will also completely fight for my own opinion unless somebody has a better argument. Because then I will totally change my opinion. But I do think banter is good to a degree. If it becomes a full on like emotional thing, then you both parties need to stop to reassess and come back to it. But it shouldn't be emotional, it should be more intellectual, more of like a thinking thing, because that's what banter is about. It should be a thinking thing, not a fist thing, you know? That's what fights are for. That's what MMA and all those UFC and all those things are for. It's just straight brain or straight brawn, no brain. Banter is brain, no brawn, you know? Less brawn, no brawn. But logically speaking, you should be going to the gym even if you're working a labor job because you got to get strong. You know how many people I know who work labor jobs and in their 40s or 50s, working 12 to 14-hour days, and who are fat as fuck, and they work the same heavy labor that I'm doing, or that I was doing? It doesn't determine how you look. Going to the gym determines how you look and how you feel about yourself and that confidence you inspire in yourself. Labor job is just gonna give you the specific skill set you need to do the job. It's not gonna give you the body that you want to look like. It's not going to give you the six-pack abs if that's what you want. It's just not, unless like it's specifically that movement that's doing it. It's just you understand. Like just use your brain. Anyways, does anyone else have any other things you want to talk about? I've totally proved my point. But we got some good conversation in here, I will say. I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed with what YouTube has to offer. We're doing pretty good here. Instagram's just full of a bunch of brain dead idiots. And I'm gonna assume TikTok's the same way. I see how TikTok warps people. I do. TikTok, Instagram, I think they're just full of brain dead idiots. I think YouTube's a little better because we got long form creators on here too, which kind of like give that good middle ground. But the reason I watch Instagram Reels, I'm not saying I don't watch them, I do, but the reason I watch them is so I could feel brain dead and just watch brain rot. Like, there's a specific purpose for it to get a good laugh. You don't need to be thinking so much to laugh. That's the whole point of laughing. It's like this dumb thing. Like SpongeBob growing up was like, your parents would tell you, "Oh, it's so bad, he is make you dumber." The point is the dumbness of it is to laugh at it. That's why I go to Instagram Reels is to just be dumb, you know? And I come here to these live streams, hopefully, to just kind of talk and banter with the right kind of people that actually want to work, that are actually working on themselves, not want to work on themselves, but are actually doing it. Like you're here and you're already doing it, you know? Because if you aren't, then I don't want to hear what you have to say because you're not actually trying. You're just a troll at the end of the day. You're just like a fat person or a not fat. A fat person is just like the stereotype for troll, but just somebody who just a better word to be somebody who is unsuccessful in life. That's a better word. Like I want people who are successful to like have I want to grow a community around successful people, people that are genuinely succeeding each and every day in a little way here and there because that's how I feel. But I know those people will come around as I keep speaking how I am. And until that happens, here we are, you know? Everyone starts somewhere. Everyone feels a little stupid at times. They're like, why am I even doing this? But you got to get over that threshold and that bump. So maybe this is that. Maybe I should change my username from Wiffenbots to something else. But Wiffenism, that's my other page's name. Wait, actually, let's do that, guys. So everyone in here right now on this live stream, I'm almost at 50 subscribers on Wiffenism. I'm gonna if everyone here could subscribe to Wiffen, Wiffenism, Wiffenism, I need like 10 more subscribers to go live on that YouTube page. It's a new page, but I think it's the right page for what I'm doing. And it's called Wiffenism. It's kind of more of a community of people that it's kind of more of a niche community I'm trying to go for. I've posted videos on there if you want to watch them. Again, that's from an older version of me who didn't really know what he was doing, from who I am today. But I got videos on there, and I really do want to go live on there with Finism. I need like 10 more subs. So from these live streams, if I could get just 10 people over there, just so I could do the lives and just compound from there, I think it's a better channel to do it on, just because this channel's so dead, and it's exactly just a dead page for the algorithm to pick up on. So again, Wiffinism. I'm gonna say this until I get like 10 subs over there. Probably do another live stream on Instagram to get 10 people over there. Just because I got a lot of followers on Instagram. Wiffinism. I gotta change that email, but there's a few things I gotta do in there. But I think it's the right page to do things. So with that being said, guys, it's 11:30. I'm gonna end this live stream. I'm gonna start one on Instagram for a bit and just get 10 people over there